Welcome, guys. I really want to welcome Alonso Mangadoc. I hope I'm saying that right, Alonso. Was that a right way to say it?
It's good enough for the American pronunciation. So
Well, I really want to talk to you today. I'm so honored for you to be on this call with me. Really talking about your story from lost to freedom, from lost to found. And when you said that to me, I'm like, really, that touched my heart like crazy. So we're all super curious. What does a man, a vet, right, who's done through so much in life, how did you go from lost to being found? So
well,
tell us a little bit more about you and about your story and what happened to you. I'd love to hear it.
so really to really do it justice, I had to kind of go back a little bit to get to that point of being lost. So I'm a first generation immigrant. I moved here to the U.S. In Michigan when I was 12 from the Philippine Islands, and it was one of those moves that my family like decided that like where we were at in the Philippines, there were really no opportunity for us as children to to make a life for ourselves because there wasn't really much in the hometown that I was at. So my family decided to immigrate,
Mhm.
uh, and ever since I was little, I've always wanted to be like an entrepreneur. Like when I was 7 years old, I actually started my own candy stand of uh, American like candy that I would get from my grandpa. He would like ship stuff in balikbayan boxes,
Wow.
and I would have all these like American goodies that all the Filipino children that were like my age wanted, and I had like excess of it. So my my uncle suggested like, why don't you like sell it so that you can have money to buy certain things that you want, the toys or what have you, or experiences that you might want to go into, and that was really like the American dream when uh, it started that way because I saw that in my uncle, I saw that in like movies and things like that growing up, and when we finally moved to the U.S., that was like the main goal. So the path that I was told to get there was to get an education, get a good job, and you'll eventually get there.
Right.
Um, and I did that. Like
Yeah.
I went through the engineering program at University of Michigan, aerospace engineering, and then I also uh, went into the military right after 9/11. So I 9/11 happened. It was literally I can remember it like yesterday. 9/11 happened. Second plane hit like the Empire State Building, and uh, walked into the recruiter's office the next day.
Wow.
Now,
Was that really related to 9/11 that you decided to go? In,
yeah.
right? Oh wow. Okay. And how was that? Just tell us a little more because I'd love to hear about how that was. That must have been hard.
So when I saw like that aspect of like terrorism and an aspect of uh, really like challenging like the American lifestyle, and I was like 20, around 20 years old at this point, just finishing up my junior year in college. Uh, it really like gave me the picture of this country has given me
Mm.
so much opportunity, so much things that I would never have had if it wasn't for uh, what the military did to protect our freedom and all that stuff, and the opportunity that United States was able to give every single individual that's here. And when I saw that like challenge and saw that there was a need for like service, many others that I've served with, felt the same way, that they felt a call,
Yeah.
and I decided to answer with regards to that.
Well, thank you for that. That's amazing. How was that? How was the experience, and how was it coming back? Because I think that's true for a lot of vets, right? It's hard. So I'd love to hear that. Right.
So the experience was like nothing else you could really put to words. It's nothing like the the movies, nothing like you really see in the news. It's more so the main mission that we had when we went to Iraq uh, was the whole aspect of winning their hearts and minds. And in that endeavor, it wasn't like being cured by like bullets or missiles or anything like that. It was actually like providing like your necessities, like your electricity, your food, your shelter, bridges, infrastructure, and that was the main thing that we did. And we uh, interacted with like a lot of the local like sheikhs and local people that were in the community that were like wanting the same thing, wanting the same thing that we wanted. They didn't want chaos in their community. They didn't want things being blown up. They didn't want their children to suffer. They all wanted these same things, and only like a small group of people were ruining like the the batch of good apples that were uh, really in country. So having experienced that, it gave me a different perspective on what would have been like a stereotype that I would have formed for myself without having the experience. And really, uh, it, it gave me the experience of truth
Mm.
for the first time with regards to like war and conflict, and specifically with our time in Iraq.
Yeah, love that. Well, that's amazing. I mean, I would say I don't love it, but it's I can see the experience change too, right? Moving forward to when you're coming back, right? Because I really would love to see how does it now lead you to freedom, right? Because I'd love to hear that. What was hard coming back, and then how did you find this whole movement that you're doing right now with mental wellness, right? And moving forward into entrepreneurship even more. How was that journey? Love to hear that.
So when you're in the military, it's all about like following orders, right? And uh, like you do what you're told. We have a saying in the Marine Corps where it's a little bit different when it comes to how we operate, and it's the saying: it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. It's like one of the like unique things about like the Marines is that they operate in this like go do it, and then if you make a mistake, then you you make corrections and you adapt, right? You do a sudden change when it comes to that. And having had that experience, like, and I love the whole like community and the brotherhood and all that stuff that the military was able to give me, but I wanted freedom. I wanted to be able to like do the things that I want, and uh, I knew what service and like following orders was all about, and now I wanted to experience like that whole aspect of like the American dream that was like promised ever since I was a kid.
Mm.
Um, so I got out of the military and went into like the whole like getting myself like a job. Um, but that again was another shackle that like really uh, I was limited to like the number of hours I could work
Mm.
and the location that I was able to be at for for the work that I do. And one of the most amazing things that happened to me was actually reading a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Mm, yeah, good
And
one.
reading that book literally changed my life because it gave me the idea of the aspect of active income and passive income and what wealthy people do and what non-wealthy people do.
Okay. And what do wealthy people do? And what are you doing right now? I'd love to hear it because I'd love people to give the secret of what you're currently doing because I love it. So hey, let's go for it.
So just over 7 years ago, I can remember it clear as day. I was sitting at my desk in front of a computer in a cubicle, feeling like I was a caged chicken. You know the like the anti uh uh those chicken ads that they've done where it was like caged chickens right next to each other.
Mhm.
That was like my situation in uh as an engineer working in a cubicle. And a thought came to my mind, and the thought was, is this what life is all about?
Mm,
Is this the American dream? And I was reminded again with like the whole purpose of why we immigrated here, my family and all that. And I uh, revisited the whole aspect of what Robert Kiyosaki was talking about, and really like that cash flow quadrant, right?
yeah.
Because I knew I was as an employee in this quadrant where I had like guaranteed income. I had that security, right?
Right.
But it wasn't uh, freedom. Like if I didn't show up at my job, I wouldn't get paid,
Right.
and I was only given so much vacation time
Mhm.
to be able to enjoy the the lifestyle. So uh, in this situation 7 years ago, when I asked that question, it was like, heck no, this is not what uh, my life is supposed to be about. And uh, I really started to explore and be open to opportunities outside of like the normal 9 to 5 job. And one of my good friends actually approached me about network marketing.
Mm,
And following Robert Kiyosaki's work, he is actually one of the main proponents of network marketing because it's such an amazing vehicle
mhm.
to be able to utilize with low risks and low investment. And it's literally a a journey that I've been able to go through in the last 7 years to go from that like employee quadrant
Right.
to being a, a, a an expert to owning my own business to now being somewhat of an investor when it comes to my time and my resources. And now, like my passion is about building teams and really doing things with purpose instead of just doing things out of the blue and following like the what the Joneses,
I love
uh, keeping up with the Joneses.
yes, we don't know. So I'm curious because in these last 7 years, you've done a lot, right? You've built a big organization, you've done a ton, right? And recently you switched again. And I'm really curious about that last switch, right? Because that's where we're in right now. That's what you're starting with. But we're really on that freedom path even more, that journey even more in mental wellness, right? Why the switch? Why and what are you looking forward to right now with what you're building right now? Because I think it's exciting what you're building right now.
So the switch came about from really like a an aspect of like this is where like the loss being lost is all about when it comes to my journey is uh 6 months ago, or now 7 months ago, around that, in October, uh, I literally had a nervous breakdown. Um, there was things that came about that about that.
Okay.
It's really things that came about that uh, emotionally, mentally, physically, uh, things I went through in the military with PTSD, getting COVID, all compounded to a point where I, suffice to say, like I lost my cookies. Like I didn't know who I was. I was literally like at the very bottom of a barrel, lost, and I didn't know like an aspect of uh, being getting my way out. And uh, at the worst point in my life, in my situation, uh, it was an aspect of a question of who I was and why I was here.
Mm.
And having asked that question led me to really who I was as a human being, and the mission and purpose that I was put on this earth to do.
Okay.
And uh, it, I went through that situation. I know I went through that situation so that the mess that I was in could be the message that now I put forth to help other individuals, other veterans, to be able to benefit from like the struggles and pain and stuff that I went through, like going from like Pain Island to Freedom Island,
I think that's
or
beautiful.
Found or Lost Island, and then Found Island.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful, Alonso. What is the message ultimately? What is the message? Because from that really that desperate state, right? That going, and then a lot of people go. I mean, that trauma, right? That is so real. And then coming out and saying, I want to change, right? I want to change that. I want to change it for veterans. I want to change it for the world. I'm going really on a mental wellness journey. I would say anything else. What is your message for people? What is it now, right? Having gone through.
So so this is the message, and I realize it for myself, is that every single individual on this earth has a gift and a talent that the world needs, that I needed to express, that I needed to put forth. And it's my goal, my mission, my purpose to bring that out in every individual that interacts with me.
Mm, that warms my heart. That's it. I mean, that's incredible. That's an incredible mission. If you go 10 years from now, I want you to go a little bit further almost, because I feel your mission, I feel your passion. What will be in your world 10 years from now? If you really, when you, because you're going for things, right? You're really going out for things. How will the world look different because what you have done? Can you give us a glimpse?
So 10 years from now, I picture Dallas Stadium,
Okay.
an amazing like convention, like freedom party, filled with veterans from all over the nation, families of those veterans, filled with gratitude because they were on their way to taking their life.
Beautiful.
They were lost,
Hmm.
And through my effort, my message, my work, that they found themselves. They found purpose. They found a way to feel connected.
Beautiful.
And now they're doing the same thing that I am. That they know who they are, they know the gift and talent that they have, and they're expressing that to its utter fullness to be the light for others.
Beautiful. Now, for anybody who's listening, Alonso, and thank you for being so clear and vulnerable, because I can feel that mission. I can feel that. It's like, oh my goodness, I honestly think it's beautiful. For anybody who's listening, for everybody who's seeing this recording, um, what would you say to them? Because there are people curious, right? There are people saying, how can I be part of that? I want that too, right? I want mental wellness. I want to help the world. I want to help other veterans, right? So what would be your invitation to them right now?
My invitation to be to every single person is to repeat after me. I am essential.
Mm, essential.
You are essential.
Mhm.
We are essential.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. I am essential. You are essential. We are essential. I mean, that's profound. That's profound. Well, Alonso, I love this interview, and I love what we have, your message to the world, right, and your message moving forward. If people want to get in touch with you, right, if they're curious, they see this and like, oh my goodness, I wanna, I wanna do what this guy does. I want to work with him, right? What's the best step to kind of contact you or get in touch with you?
Just hit me up via email, alonso@yahoo.com. It's literally just like my first name at yahoo.com, and I'll see if we're a good fit when it comes to moving forward.
Beautiful. I love that. Anything you want to add before we finish? I think this has been a gorgeous interview. I love your missions of getting more people into in the mental wellness and veterans as well. Anything you want to finish with before we totally stop this interview?
I just want to say how grateful I am to be able to have found and interacted with you, Anne Marie, because it's totally like a God moment when it comes to like how we met and how we interacted, and really the synchronicities that are totally in alignment with everything that we're doing. Like with the passion that I have when it comes to mental wellness, specifically with veterans, and then what the company of Amari is doing in lockstep with that.
Yeah.
So again, thank you. Like you're an amazing human being, like one of the kindest people I've ever met, and I look forward to being on this journey with you and building that quantum team, baby. And
Let's do it.
here's a toast. How about that? Let's
Here's a
do a
toast.
toast.
Okay, we'll do a toast with a mariage. I love it. There we go. Boom. I love it. Yeah, and I love that. And ultimately, right? That's I and thank you. And it was so, you're right. There was so much synchronicity in how we met. I mean, we shouldn't. It was like so weird how we met. I was on Facebook, guys, so it wasn't. It was, but we didn't have very little connection, and then boom, we met. And um, yeah, yeah. Amari Global is going far. So I love that the mission we have together, right? So. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, contact Alonso if you're anything curious about this, especially about this little drink as well. But making a big difference, making a big difference in mental wellness. And thank you, Alonso, for all your service, all you've done, and all you're going. My goodness, yeah, we'll have a lot of fun in the future. All right.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.